Hi, this is Buona again. The last previous video we are talking about the hybridization. Before the hybridization to takes place, first we need to add the blocking mixture. It is added in order to avoid the binding of the non-labeled compounds or any other compounds or the probes which is not efficiently cross-linked. In order to avoid the mismatching of the hybridization, the blocking mixture it is added. It is usually the mixture of succinic anhydride 1,2 methyl pyrrolidone and the sodium borate. After the addition of this, the label target as sample they are added to the array plate at the specific temperature to allow the complementary sequence to anneal or to bind, and then array they are washed for the removal of the unlabeled compounds. The next process is the detection of the fluorescent intensity. Based upon the binding affinity, the emission of the fluorescent takes place by the smaller sequence of the DNA molecule, and the identification or the determination estimation of this fluorescent intensity is the next phase. It can be usually carried out by using a laser, computer, and the camera. There are two types of laser which are used. One is the laser. Two types of detection molecules which are used. One is the laser scanner and the CCD. CCD is nothing but the charge coupled device based scanner lasers. That is based upon the charge or the relative intensity of the molecule. The emission intensity it is measured. Next, we are coming with the actual topic, that is the nucleic acid microarray. Nucleic acid is nothing but our nucleotides, that is adenine, guanine, cytosine, and the thymine. In case of RNA it is uracil. And the nucleic acid microarray or the genochips, they are generated by the arraying nucleotide probes onto the support matrix and utilize the principle of specific base pairing. The what we have studied, the microarray, it is nothing but the nucleic acid microarray where the nucleotides they are probed or they are hybridized to the probes present on the microarray plate by the process of complementary base pairing. There are categorized into three types. One is the cDNA microarray, single nucleotide polymorphism microarray, and the mutation array. They are applied in case of loss of heterozygosity analysis. And the comparative genome hybridization microarray, and they are used in case of genetic instability and which results in the large majority of the solid tumors and in the chromosomal rearrangements. And the motto or the basic principle behind this nucleic acid microarray is similar to that of the microarray. In case of cDNA microarray, as we have seen, the normal cell and the cancerous cell, from both of them the RNA is isolated and it is probed on the microarray plate. In case of single nucleotide polymorphism, only the single nucleotide it is selected, and the single nucleotide polymorphism microarray and the mutation array. The mutated array and the single only the nucleotide with a single characteristic they are selected and they are probed onto the plate. They are mainly used for this analysis of the heterozygosity. And the comparative genome hybridization, those cells or the RNA it is isolated from the different sources in order to identify the tumor condition. Next, this is about the purpose and the application of the various types of microarray. That is the genotype. They are used to identify the genetic variation in the individual and across the population by identify the single nucleotide polymorphism. They are used in case of the genomics, pathogen studying, and the bioterrorism, drug discovery, forensic application, etc. And the chip array, they are used for the isolation and identification of the DNA sequence occupied by the specific DNA binding protein in the cell. They are used in case of the gene discovery, drug development, and to uncover and profile the off-target events. And comparative genome hybridization, they are used to identify the genomic insertion and the deletion and the copy number changes. Their use application of this is the evolutionary discovery, gene discovery, and identify, assess, and monitor the biomarkers. Next, similar to it is the spice variants and the resequencing. Coming to the applications of the nucleic acid microarray and their role in identification, first is the gene expression and the profiling. The main application of this microarray in the gene expression and the profiling by the process of hybridization or the fluorescent emission, the binding affinity of the different sequence in the DNA, they can be determined. That is one such example. And the presence or absence of the specific gene and the comparison of the gene from the different sources, and to know how the external genes they affect the from the external stimuli. In case of the stimulus conditions, how the genes are affected, and the comparison of the genes which can be obtained from the different process, or sorry, not the process, it is the sources, and the presence or absence of the specific genes, what makes their difference, they all can be what studied by the microarray process. And not only that, and the disease diagnosis, the researchers they also try to investigate the diseases, various diseases such as the heart, infectious diseases, mental illness, and the cancer by the process of microarray. Not only the identification of the disease, but also in case of cancer, what type of cancer it may be. On the basis of gene, they act. Based on this, the what type of cancer the patient is suffering, that can also be analyzed by the process of microarray. And the gene discovery, and their user this gene discovery, here the various type of new genes and their function and their expression level in the various condition, that can be identified by the microarray technique. And the drug discovery, if we know the disease condition and the expression of the various genes based upon which the drug can be produced or identified for the disease cell, and in order to increase the efficiency and reduce their effect, the drug development, the process will be easier for by the process by the addition of the identification of the gene. And the gene ID, they are used to check the IDs of the food organisms and also to feed the mycoplasma in the cell culture, usually by combining the microarray and the PCR technology. And next is the research. As we have already seen, the main motto is the conducting the different research related to these toxicogenetic studies and the nutrigenomic studies, and they are also used to reveal the presence or absence of the certain genes or the disease conditions, and under the different environmental set, what are the expression level of the gene, and based upon which the respective antibody that can be synthesized, and the what are the antibiotic resistant genes, and study microbial pathogenicity in case of research. And it also helped to define the molecular feature of the cancer progression, that is what type of cancer or the what are the types of cells or the tissues which have been undergone the process of uncontrolled cell growth, and also use it to distinguish between the non-metastatic and the metastatic phenotypes, such as in the melanoma and the non-medulloblastoma. The DNA microarray, they are being analyzed to understand the innate immune system, including the cellular response to the various bacterial endotoxins. Even the immune condition to the various bacterial endotoxin, that can be analyzed by the process of DNA microarray. And the DNA microarray technology, they are used in the area of the infectious diseases to identify the novel drug targets to the pathogen and to elucidate the protective response in the host. That comes under the drug discovery only. Next, that is about the nucleic acid microarray. Since we already know the basic principle and the procedure behind the microarray, the nucleic acid and the application and their role in the drug discovery, that is studied. Next is the protein microarray. And the protein microarray, it aims in understanding the protein status under the certain physiological and the disease condition, and by the study of this proteome, it helps us to encode the various protein which is present in the cell, and the protein isoforms and their modification in the diseased and in the normal cell condition, and the protein interaction or the protein DNA interaction, based upon which the various disease condition which has been emerged, that can be subjectarized. And it covers the whole protein in the given cell and the protein isoforms and the modifications. The protein microarray, and they are also known as the protein chips. These are the miniatured and parallel assay system that contain the small amount of the purified protein in a highly densely format. They allow the simultaneous determination of great variety of analytes from the small amount of the sample within a single experiment. That is the main motto of the microarray. By using the small amount of the sample, the functional properties of various genes that can be analyzed in a quickly and an efficient manner. The microsports of the captured molecule, they are immobilized in the rows and columns on a solid support and exposed to the sample containing the corresponding binding molecules. Here the main, there it was the hybridization, here is the interaction, that is the capture molecules, it is usually the protein, and on the microarray plate the probes which are used, it can be the DNA or the protein. And the readout system based on the fluorescence, chemiluminescence, and the mass spectrometry, radioactivity, or the electrochemistry can be used to detect the complex formation within the each microspot. Based upon the interaction between the different proteins and the different protein in the DNA, there is a emission of the fluorescence, and these protein they are labeled with the probes, and the after the binding there is emission of the fluorescence if it a fluorescence compound or the labeling with the fluorescent tags. Chemiluminescence or the mass spectrometry by the identification of the or the determining the molecular weight of the mass or the complex based upon which the protein which is whether it is bound to the DNA or the another protein which is present in the microarray plate that can be specified. And the radioactivity or the electrochemistry, these are the various detection technique which can be used in case of the protein microarray. There are mainly two different types of protein microarray, that is a forward phase protein microarray and the reverse phase protein microarray. In forward phase protein microarray, only the one protein sample is screened against the multiple reagents. In the reverse phase, the one antibody probing the multiple sample as opposed to the one sample for the multiple capture reagent. That is here only the there it is the protein or the antigen, that is the sample is probed against the multiple reagent. Here the antibody probing the multiple sample as opposed to the antibody which is already attached to the probe as opposed to the one sample for the multiple capture reagents. And the capture reagent usually is an antibody is first affixed on the glass slide, and the array are then probed with the antibodies to, for instance, phosphorylated signaling molecules. The antibody which is usually the phosphorylated signaling molecules. The technique, it offers the high specificity, but it is time consuming. It is having the high specificity and the sensitivity and the precision of the clinical targets. That is, accurately we can determine the interaction between the different proteins or the different protein and the DNA. And the test sample could be the blood cells, cell lysate, or some other biological specimen. Here the test samples which are used are the tissues, cell, serum, and the body fluids. This is the pictorial representation. In case of forward phase microarray, to the microarray plate, the antibody they are attached to which the our sample antigen they get bound to the antigen binding site which is present on the antibody, and there is a antigen antibody interaction based upon which the fluorescent tags attached with the antigen they close, and the fluorescent intensity emission it is readout. That is in case of the forward phase microarray. In case of reverse phase, the microarray plate is usually attached with an antigen, and the antibody that is added which binds with the antigen, specific antigen which is present on the plate, and this complex, to this complex the fluorescent tag is added that usually binds with an antibody, and the emission intensity it is determined. And based upon the detection technique, there are of two types. One is the label based, because here we use the different types of instruments for determination of the interaction, that is the mass spectrometry, electrochemistry, along with the fluorescent and the chemiluminescent compounds. There are two types of detection technique which can be present here, that is the label based and the label free. The label based, here we use the fluorescent, chemiluminescent, or the radioactive labeling that have the synthetic challenges and the multiple label issues and may exhibit the interference with the binding site. Whereas the label free, it includes the surface phenomena, resonance, mass spectrometry, backscattering interferometry, Brewer's angle cradle interferometry, and then CELD-TO, time of flight mass spectrometry. That is sensitive, reliable, and high throughput screening, requires the small sample and helps in identifying the complexes. It is the most reliable method and it is most frequently used when compared with the label based technique. This is about the process and the types of the protein microarray. Next is the application of the protein microarray.